China. It's about China. It's always about China. We have to talk about China. Now it's quantitative easing in China. No trade deals in China. So it's all about China now. Everything is about China. I know you guys think it's about JP and the FOMC and all that shit that actually doesn't matter at all. But today I'm going to show you why China matters and what happens right now in China, what happened yesterday in China, how much money they actually just injected into the economy, like printing, and how will that whole thing impact the market? I actually think we're coming to a little bit of a topic here. I do think that we are going to get a pullback, as I explained to you a couple of days ago as well on the show and yesterday on the show. And so today's a big day. I'm going to look at it. The market actually looks quite decent. So I'm actually quite sad that I have to be the bearer of bad news. But yeah, I'll take that responsibility on. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Fefe. I bring you the best alpha, whether it's over at X, bring you trades like this on the show, whether it's about trading education, whether it's about just spreading the word about crypto, understanding, making you understand what is really happening, or whether that's daily recaps that I bring you. There's a link in the description to my X profile. Go and check that out. And of course, if you are not subscribed to the channel, you know exactly what to do. And for those of you returning, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. More likes, more alpha. I have a bunch of stuff coming today, and I'm going to give away a 15-minute consultation with me as well. So let's jump into it. Depends on the likes, of course. Depends on the likes. Let's go. So the market actually looks quite decent. I mean, I'm not complaining. Yesterday, I said that we are going to have a final big push, and it is kind of happening. Hype is up 7.8%. Fed is about 7. Stacks about 14. Very surprising, but it's up. QNT is up 10. Radium having a little bit of run here at 8%. Hype up 9, Litecoin at 11, even though that the SEC postponed the decision on the ETF. Gala, you know, catching a little bit of bid there. IOTA at 10%. So you see a little bit of movement here, which is great. Now the thing is that we are in our little echo bubble a little bit, and we kind of forget that it's not all one crypto, and it's not all charts and market gonna go up and all that. In fact, Meta, for example, you know, that small company that owns Facebook. Well, the chart basically formed a dead cross for the first time ever, which is absolutely crazy. No, not first time ever. Sorry, since December 21st. The last one sent the shares down 73% over the next 11 months. So there's a lot of uncertainty happening on the market. Major guys, not crypto bros, major guys. Paul Tudor Jones says that his legendary hedge fund manager warns that even though there will be whatever cuts on tariffs and China and the US have some kind of deal, the markets will make new lows. Now, when this guy speaks, we all listen. So the question is, all this inflow that we're seeing, all this pump that we're seeing right now, all the hopium that we're seeing, is that actually a beginning of a new rally? And this 146 billion into the United States seems to be Trump's plan seems to be working, or it's just a bear market rally? I actually forgot that my kiddo said you can't go to do the show, but you have to say 𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗙𝗙. So that's for my kiddo. I had to say that on the show. Okay, let's jump back into the show. So the bear market rallies are not uncommon. Absolutely not uncommon. We've seen them. So average in, let's not go back to like 81, but if you look at 2008, for example, in November, 47 days straight up. Yet, we know what happened then. Complete catastrophe. September 2015, 35 days straight up. March 2020, COVID, 46 days straight up. And then obviously straight down. So like, it's not unheard of to see bear market rallies. Now, I will reason why I don't believe this is a bear market rally, but I just don't want you to get way too comfortable with the fact that we are reversing straight out and it's not gonna, have any impact. Now, we've been very bullish. We've been like, talking very bullishly about the fact that there was 4 billion in inflows in the past 2 weeks. And I told you specifically that when you have inflows like these, they usually mark a local top. Guess what happens now? There's 89%, 85 million, minus 85 million inflow. That means $85 million worth of outflows from the Bitcoin ETF yesterday, which again, comparing that to the 800 million 2-3 days ago and comparing that to the 400 million the day before that, it's a substantial drop. So, something to consider. Today, what is happening? FOMC. And we've been waiting for this. Everybody's like, oh, it's FOMC day. If you're gonna look at YouTube, like actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do an experiment here. Let's write in crypto, and then just let's see what comes up. FOMC. FOMC. What else do we have? FOMC. What else do we have here? So most of the people are going to talk about FOMC, George FOMC. So it's like there's always going to be talks about FOMC, but the reality is that FOMC is going to be, mark my words, one of the biggest nothing burgers you've seen this month. Why? Because JP can't say nothing positive. So it's either completely freaking negative, which is going to just mark the local top and simply nuke the market, or it's going to be a nothing burger as it usually is. Now, one thing that can actually screw this up, and you guessed it right, that is China. China. So we're gonna look at that in a second. So I think full bear, bro. Come on, get the fuck out of here. Write it 5 more times. Farshad, you're lucky that it's not Cuz sitting here now. Cuz is sick. He got the sickness from me. So it's not Cuz sitting here because he would already like ban you. Oh, we got a nuke it on the block here. It's like, oh yeah, I should. We got a nuke it on the block here. Okay. So what happens is that we've got about 97% of no change. Zero change. So we're gonna sit there and we're gonna be glued to the screen and we're gonna hear the exact same freaking Powell that we always hear. And then he's going to say, oh, there is uncertainty happening because of the tariffs. Unforeseen uncertainties are happening. We're not sure about the trajectory. We don't know if inflation is cooling. We have to observe the data and then make decisions based upon that. That is going to be his speech. And then there will be questions. And there might be some questions related to, for example, the fact that inflation might rebound. Mostly due to the fact that a lot of companies will pass the costs that comes with all these tariffs and their manufacturing and their assembling costs or whatever that might be onto the consumers. And the Fed survey outlines that there is a possibility that what will actually give a massive rebound for inflation. And that can be a problem. Why? Because the Fed only looks at inflation and they look at economic data, right? For them to start cutting rates and for them to start injecting money into the economy, they need to see inflation come down. And if there is a bunch of tariffs on sourcing stuff to the United States, because that is exactly what's happening, the companies won't absorb that tariffs. Like they won't say, okay, I'm just gonna pay 60% more for my raw material here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass it on to the consumer, or at least partially pass it on to the consumer. And if that happens, that will result in higher prices, and that will result in higher inflation. What is interesting is I see this circulating around, and what is interesting, let me just read this because and it's not only quarantine. Like I've seen so many posts like this. The Fed is quietly shifting gears again. They are supposed to let 25 billion per month treasuries roll off, but they just bought 34.8 billion in 2 days. That's not quantitative tightening. It's stealth quantitative easing. Prepare accordingly. And then there is like the Fed investment 101. It's no way quantitative easing is balance sheet size neutral and reserve neutral. So I actually will be very honest with you. I use Grok here, and Grok very nicely explains what this 38 billion, 34 billion rebuy is. And it says the Federal Reserve buyback is not quantitative easing because it's a balance sheet neutral reinvestment of proceeds from maturing treasuries, which they always done. Routine practice that has been occurring for over a decade, even during periods of quantitative easing or quantitative tightening. So if you're thinking and you have bet your life savings onto this news, well, bad news for you. Just don't, because it's completely false. All eyes on China. Okay? China. All eyes on China. Why? Oh, let me just get back here. Let me take a breath here. Let me see what's happening in the chat. Chat, are we going to pump these likes up to like 250 or not? I need 15 minutes with Fefe. I'm going to tell you exactly how you can get it. Hola from Marbella. What's happening? Crypto Megan lives in Marbella. I met her in Token. Such a cool person. Shout out to her. Distractions. Yes. No Didi. I don't know what that means, but no. No Didi ever. Ogfash started then. Good morning. Very upset. I misread your ex post last night about sending Bitcoin higher. You didn't misread it. Bitcoin bounced hardcore. I'm going to show you. I'm up like 20-something% on my trade. Let me just see. On the trade we took yesterday. Let me just see in a second. I'm up 24% on my Bitcoin trade, and I'm up 10% on my Sol trade. which we took yesterday together, and I got stubborn too. So, big bright big Suriname. Hi from Suriname. I don't know what that is, but 175k in November. Amen. Do me 100. I don't do you 100. No, I don't. Why isn't Sol pumping hard? I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Hey everyone, let's jump. Let's jump into this. Why all ours are on China? Okay, you guys been actually very freaking lazy on the likes, but I'm gonna let it slide because I just have so much offer to give that I'm just gonna give it to you. So the reason why all ours are in China is because the negotiations between the United States stirred the pot. Okay, and so it is of course about the United States and China, but it's not just about the United States and China, because it's a precedent that's just going on. And the general sentiment around trade war between China and the US has a ripple effect, for example, to India. We're going to talk about that in a second. But everybody and every market is looking at Trump and looking at President Xi to find a deal on this whole situation. And some are very hopeful. Let me give you the rundown. Trump says, we don't have to sign trade deals. You know, we are losing nothing by not trading with China. Not a problem for not trading with China. China has been ripping off us. Not a problem if we don't trade. And then they go out and Besson says, I've not engaged with China as of yet. So he's like, you know what? We'll see. If they come to the table, it's going to be cool. We're negotiating with like 18, 17 countries already. If China wants to come to the table, fine, we're going to negotiate, but we're not in a rush. Yet, what you see yesterday is futures serve over 1%. Now, you might be thinking it's nothing, but it's the S&P 500. It's not a shitcoin. It's the S&P 500 is surging 1% on a single news that says that U.S. Secretary Besson, who I've been talking about, says that he will meet with China's lead economic officials this week. Again, a bunch of fucking misinformation. Why? Because this is the statement he made on Fox News, and I want you to listen carefully because this is why you are in the show. And also, I just want to tell you, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, this is your moment to do that. I'm bringing you this show every single day. I educate you on trading. You can see my results here, which I share with you on this show. Now, obviously, you need a little bit of a better market for this, but we do have this as well. I do have a trading channel and the vlog. The vlog is called The $1 Billion Hustle. You can see it here. And the trading channel is called The 100x Club. And again, every single day I do altcoin trading straight after the show. So the show is up here. This is going to be, I don't know why it's not up here, but anyway, it's going to be put in as premiere. But we do have the show here. There's a link in the description to all this. If you go on here, you can just go on to Crypto Live, which is actually, can I just do this? Yes, I think I can. If you go on here, come here. And then you can just go lower here and you will see all the socials here. You will see my most news summary for today, trading channel here, which we're going to jump on straight after. And then you will be able to see the $1 Billion Hustle. And this is how the like button works, ladies and gentlemen. This is how it works. You just push the like and it works. Okay, so what I'm saying is the following. The reason why it's surged because Besson had an interview on Fox News, and here is what he said.
The world has been coming to the U.S. and has been coming to the U.S. and China has been the missing piece. I was going to be in Switzerland to negotiate with the Swiss. Turns out the Chinese team is traveling through Europe, and they will be in Switzerland also. So we will meet on Saturday and Sunday. And look, we have shared interest.
So I just want you to pay attention. Don't look at the show tits for likes comment. That's just for fun, for lols. But the guy is saying that he's going to Switzerland. And the Chinese will be in Switzerland. Okay? What does the media do? Besson will meet the Chinese ambassadors. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. But it doesn't meet them because, they talked about... I'm not following Besson, okay? It's not because they have come to the table and they initiated the discussion. No, it's not because of that. They'll be in the same fucking room, so they're going to meet. So I'm not saying it's bearish, but I'm saying it's over-exaggerated. Now, you have to understand, it's all about two massive egos, like two gorillas just trying to fight each other, right? Some of them has to start. And so they just like this, like, fuck you, no, fuck you. That, Ezekiel, what's your name? And then, anyway, so... You're probably too young for this. Maybe you are not, but if you remember the Ezekiel thing, let me know in the chat. But anyway, so what these guys do, they're fighting. And none of them want to come to the table and be like, you know what? Maybe we should just talk. They're two big egos. They don't really care and whatever. This is the dumbest comment I ever read. Real traders don't have YouTube channels. Bruman. Goodbye. So what happens is that he's going to be in Switzerland and the Chinese are going to be in Switzerland as well. And so China's Commerce Minister says reports that China plans to engage with the US on trade are true. Why? So this is like, none of them wants to be the one saying, hey, come to the table, but they gotta meet in Switzerland somehow. They're gonna get into negotiation. We should talk. Yeah, I think we should talk. Yeah, and then I'm just over exaggerating here, but this is what is really going to happen, in my opinion. Now, if that happens, what China is very, very clear on is that they are not going to be bullied by the United States and by Donald Trump, right? So it says talks must be equitable and mutually beneficial. It's not Trump telling them what to do. It's not Trump dictating the talk. It's mutually beneficial. And I do think that this can actually happen. Now, I want you to remember, I don't know if you remember or you've been long enough here, but 2018, they had the very same situation with tariffs, China and the United States and Trump. Very same situation. Now, this is a photo from 2019 that was on the day when they met and they sat down. Now, I don't know if you can say that, but if you look at the left side, it's like young, probably very smart people on the left side, and then very old, probably very, very smart people, Joe Biden kind of guys on the right side. So like, I don't know how this thing is going to go, but I hope that it's going to be a little bit of a different setup. But one thing is certain, that they started these negotiations in May 2018. Now, I want you to note one thing, that when they ended, it was January 2020. That's when Trump signed. January 2020. That's 20 months. 20 months from the moment they actually sat down, okay? So it's not from the time they started poking each other in January or whatever, February. No. It's the time from they sit down. So this will take them about a month to sit down, good case scenario. And then it will take about 12 to 20 to 25 months. This is going to be one of the toughest negotiations you've ever seen in politics. They have to, and Trump is going to the table. He's not going to turn back. And the Chinese are not going to let go. So it's going to be a very tough negotiations. Deal's going to be off the table, on the table 20 times. There will be, increased tariffs, decreased tariffs, stable tariffs, no tariffs, meantime. And this whole thing is going to ripple down to the market every single time there is news. So what is important on this is that, and as I said, is that there is the FOMC happening today. Now, China had their FOMC happening yesterday. And guess what happened? They had, I see that this is not the best here because it's not visible below the logo. Okay, so what happened is that they cut rates by 10 points and lowered bank reserve ratio by 50 points. What that means is this. Okay, I have to find that. I don't know if I'll find, but let me just find JP printing. I don't know if I'll find the video, but there's like a video where he goes and it's like the music. Fed money printing. I don't know if we'll find the video, but it's such a cool video. Okay, I think we're not gonna find it. Anyway, it's such a good video with the whole music behind it. Ah, this is the one. That's not the one, but anyway. Okay, anyway. So, what I'm saying here... Oh, this is stuck here. Is it stuck on your end as well? Oh, no, it's good. Okay. So, China bank cuts rates, injects 1 trillion yuan. 3 hours after agreeing to trade talks to prop up economy and give Communist Party ammo for negotiations. Now, here is why this is interesting. What they do is they need to control their economy. They need to pump the numbers up. Here's what they don't tell you. Why it matters. China's move follows escalating US tariffs rising over 100% on key categories, with export demand weakening and foreign capital fleeing. They don't do investments in China because of all the uncertainties. China is trying to stimulate domestic lending and consumption. What did I say? Lower rates, more lending, more borrowing, more injection into the economy, more booming economy. That's just how it works. But the thing is that it's a lifeline when you have to cut rates. It's not a privilege, it's basically a lifeline. What they are not saying is that lower rates will weaken yuan, which risk accelerating capital outflows. Okay? So why is this interesting and what is really going to happen here? And what will the Fed do is also interesting. But this basically, in my mind, means that China is, to some extent, loses leverage. And Patrick Bet-David has a very, very cool take. First of all, very smart guy, I admire him, but he has a very cool take. Never trust any data Chinese government drops about their economy. Their difference between China and US is China is run like a private company, while the US is run as a publicly traded company. And what does that mean? China data is whatever they want to tell you. China's data is whatever they want you. The government has control on everything, even the private corporations, everything. The government has control in. And they show you the numbers they exactly want. They basically cook their books. And ours, meaning the United States economy, is a public book, meaning everybody can see. And I'm pretty confident that some of the numbers are cooked, especially they were until January. But this is a public book that everybody can get access to and see. Now, China stopped publishing unemployment stats in 2023. Wonder why? No one hides great numbers. And what he says, I can only imagine how much pain their citizens and small business owners are feeling today because of their tariffs. So we don't really know what's going on in China. One thing is certain, they are loading up on gold. Now, that happens also when? That happens when there is uncertainty. Uncertainty. So China has been accumulating insane amount of gold, 6 straight months, bringing total holdings up to 243 billion as the leading nation in accumulating gold. And one more thing to bring here is the China impact on the India and Pakistan conflict, right? So I will be honest with you, I'm not up to date with what has really happened. There's so much misinformation online and not much more, and I don't even want to take, a complete stand on the whole Pakistan-Indian situation. But what I know is that it's so surprising that when the time comes that China is falling behind on the global manufacturing scene, and India could step up as a great manufacturer, suddenly there is a war breaking out between Pakistan and India, right? So I think it's very important to understand that this whole thing that we're seeing and the whole thing that we are being fed to is not as it seems, and there is much more under the hood. Now, why do I say that? I say that because if you look at the market and you go like, oh, there will be a solution on the US trade wars and, US-China trade war and everything is just going to go away. Well, you're wrong, my friend, because it can take long time, and maybe we're not in a bull market anymore. I do think we are, but we have to see how this whole thing happens. And I'll tell you one thing, if this thing will last 20 months, I guarantee you that there is no exponential rally coming that we've been all waiting for. Now, guys, I see a lot of you are asking for charts and much more, which we are going to do now. But I want you to do one thing. Please take 2 seconds and like the freaking show. Smash the like button below if you enjoy this content. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done already. And of course, make sure to follow me on X. There is a link in the description where you can find these trades, find trading education, and much more. And of course, one more thing, if you are down in the description, there is a 100X Club channel, the trading channel that I'm going to jump straight in after this. And I have a show coming up, live show, where I'm going to analyze all your tokens. Now, I said yesterday that we're going to have a massive pump, the last pump, last push before 84. Now, someone said that I'm so sad that I didn't understand your signal. I mean, I don't know what you mean, but when I tweeted this, I tweeted it literally down here, like before the pump on the total market cap. I can actually even put this on the Bitcoin chart and just see where it goes, but I don't know what you mean. You misunderstood. It was quite, oh, this is my trade, by the way. It's quite simple to understand. When I said this is the last push, literally before the pump, I saw the market structure shift and then the news came out and then it pumped. The chart usually tells you before what is happening. So, but anyway, we took all these trades. By the way, for anybody wondering, on the 100X Club, we took all these trades. So today what we're going to do, we did the same thing then, and we just do this. You can go down in the description and just see everything here. Now, ultimately, I want to tell you my short thoughts on the total market cap, because I do think it's very relevant, and then we're going to do all the detailed analysis on the 100X Club as we do every single day. But I said very simple that this is a 4-hour structure here. I explained yesterday, and this exactly played out like a marble. I said that this is a low, this is a high, this is a low, this is a high, and therefore this is simply a pullback, and we need to start pushing. Liquidity will be taken here. Why? Because it's a liquidity inducement trap. What is even more interesting, that the way this whole reversal happen actually confirms the fact that we are going to have a pullback, because we do have relative equal lows here. We just adds liquidity. Therefore, I'm pretty confident that we're pumping straight into 3.03 and above, and then at some point rejecting from there and then just coming lower. This is what I will be looking at, but this is the TLDR of what I think is going to happen. I explained it on the show. Again, I'm happy if you come back every day or if you just watch the 100x Club. I explained it in depth that I do think that we have, I don't think, but we do have a higher high formed here at the daily, and that means that a daily retrace after coming into a higher time frame supply zone will happen. And if all this is confusing, again, what I can recommend you, subscribe here, come back here, and subscribe to the 100x Club, because I'm going to bring you a lot of trading education. Now, I promised you that I'm going to do a giveaway today. Yesterday, I was sick, and honestly, it was a horrible way of putting this. But I'm making up for it today. So we have a partner, they're called Blowfin. First of all, I literally love the guys. Like, I know the guys. He's one of our friends, one of the lead BDs there. He's a good friend. He's been with Banter for a long time, and he went to Blowfin, non-KYC, available worldwide, fantastic user interface, great liquidity. I stand behind and I love actually Blowfin. But I told Ben, hey, I want something more than just the spinning and all the bonuses that you give to the guys, and I want a little bit more. And he was like, okay, what is it? And I said, you know what we should do is that every time someone trades $1 million trading volume in a month, so you can trade it on the first day, you can trade it in 30 days, it doesn't matter. And if $1 million is not a lot, he will get a chance to win a 15-minute consultation with me. Now, we might extend this to all other platforms. We might extend it to 30 minutes. We might expand it to all the people who actually have get into a mastermind, whatever that is. So I'm saying Blowfin is the best. I'm so happy you like it. So, but these are the people, 2468, who did have 1 million in the last 30 days. So I put this little wheel thing here. Let me see if this even works. Let me see. Yeah. So this is the little wheel thing here. And I'm going to spin this. And the one who wins will, 1, be contacted by Blowfin as well, so they can get in touch with me. But 2, if you are here in the chat, let me know. And then you can just directly DM me. Obviously, I will need proof if we get onto the call that you have this UID. But if you win a 15-minute consultation with me, which I would value at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So let's go. So UID 472498076. I'm actually super excited to do this, bruv. It's actually so cool. So you win a consultation with me. We're gonna jump on a Zoom call. Blowfin is going to reach out to you as well in email. But if you are here and if you see this and whatever, then please just come forward and just send me a DM on X. Blowfin is going to reach out as well. Yeah, that's it. Someone's saying glasses. I don't know what that means. Did I read the number wrong? I was... okay, cool. So, that's that. I have some random news before we jump onto the 100x Club. One is, the Orange Man is promising us something.
And those days are over. Those days are over. And, I said before in our meeting with the new and very talented Prime Minister of Canada that we have some very big announcement to make. It's not about trade. It's about something else, but it's going to be...
Canada's becoming the 50%.
It's not about trade. It's about something else, but it's going to be a truly earth-shattering and positive development for this country and for the people of this country. And that'll take place sometime within the next few days.
Earth-shattering. I don't know what that can be, but excited to see what the announcement is going to be. Trump family-backed 𝗙𝗘𝗙𝗙 submit snapshot proposal to test USD1 stablecoin airdrop for the wealth token holders. This is happening as well. If you bought that, then you're in. Berkshire Hathaway. Warren Buffett's company stepped down as a CEO. The board voted a new member, Greg Abel, whatever that might be, president and CEO January 1st, 2026. And for Warren Buffett to remain as chairman of the board. It's actually such a crazy time. Hey, I'm actually super happy that I'm even reporting this. This is insane. Just history happening. Massive breaking. New Hampshire has become the first state in the nation to pass a strategic Bitcoin reserve bill into law. So it's law. We did it. Happened. This guy, Dennis Porter, also have been working for this for such a long time. Shout out to him as well. Massive step forward. So they actually voted for this is in law strategic Bitcoin reserve. Happen. Congratulations. And now again, just another news from the beautiful UK, which is completely lost. and left behind in the ruins of the, I don't even want to say what, but Treasury's Economy Secretary Emma Reynolds rules out national Bitcoin reserve. It's not going to happen. It's not appropriate for our market. So it's not happening in the UK. My condolences for the people there. Ethereum has upgraded. Pack dropgate happened. I genuinely am going to buy a bunch of ETH on this retrace. I think it for the first time in a long time, made a higher high on ETH Bitcoin. We are going to go and jump onto the 100x Club, and I'm going to show you the charts exactly. There's a link in the description. Top 100 wallets now hold 93% of virtuals. So I got stopped down on virtuals, and I was like, perfect setup. What is really happening? I told you it's going to be a very risky one, but turns out 93% of virtuals are held by 100 wallets. I mean, that's like a proper cabal here. That's not even, that's like a larger yacht party. So I don't know. It's yeah, it's wild. And Axel Rose rocked in a Satoshi Nakamoto shirt last night in Tokyo. Absolute legend. Adoption is happening. And I wanted to tell you one more thing. And you know I've been bullish on Ordinals, but I haven't really talked about them much. There was a mint yesterday, which I missed. I'll be honest with you, I missed. But today I'm going to buy a few of these. Now you might be thinking, what are Ordinals? Ordinals are NFTs on Bitcoin. Impermanent, there forever, not a pointer. And it is the leverage play on Bitcoin, in my true belief. I own 6 figures in Ordinals, and I think this is the future. Now, you might be thinking why this might be the future. This was a mint on Trio. Trio is our partners, by the way. One of the best places you can go. They also own Ordinals Bot, which allows you to put stuff onto the Bitcoin blockchain, but you can also just go onto Trio. There's a link in the description. And you can filter different ordinal projects and just get different ordinals for yourself. Now, why this is interesting? Because this collection was dropped on Trio from someone called 𝗕𝗘𝗙𝗙𝗪. Now, why is this interesting? I didn't know that either. You might not know it. But this 𝗕𝗘𝗙𝗪, like Michelangelo, 𝗕𝗘𝗙𝗪, is an artist specializes in large-sized paints that feature frogs and toads. This person has been painting Pepe in oil since 2017. Now he has these, or she has these, this is a Russian artist, by the way. She has like these proper paintings of Pepe, and now she dropped this Ordinals collection on Trio, which is kind of cool. So this is the first original Pepe collection on Ordinals, which again, I am going to buy some. It's about $150 each, if I calculate that correctly. Yeah, it's about 100. Is it $150 each? 10,000. Yeah, it's $150 each. But I'm going to buy a couple of these. Again, Ordinals from the leverage play. They go for a long time, but it's pretty cool because if you buy the Trio token and you stake it in your wallet self-custody, you get access to these mints. You get a bunch of cool drops and much more. So check out Trio as well. And ladies and gentlemen, my friends, the time has come. The time has come. We are going to jump on to the 100x Club, and I'm going to do a short but very informative TA show. Usually what we do is I'm running through tokens. You can ask tokens what you want analyzed, and I'm just going to simply do the TA and where to enter, where to exit. This is how we catch trades like this. So this, I literally gave you this trade on the show yesterday. I told you I'm in this. It's up about 2-3% since then. What is it? It's up about 2-3%, but much more. I teach you how to trade and much more, so do that. And also, guys, obviously, subscribe to the channel here. Come back every single day. Follow me on X. I give my heart and soul sick and not sick here, so I hope you appreciate the content. And if you do, check out these 2 videos. One of them will be the 100x Club show, which you definitely should check out, and you can click here to subscribe. Guys, I'm not saying goodbye because I'll see you in 2 minutes on the other channel. Link in the description. I will see you in the next one. Take care.